Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 52 based on novel. So let's start. With the appearance of these mysterious runes, a sky-piercing green light appeared in the space, and Xiao Yan could also clearly feel it. At this time, the extremely strong ghost energy on the woman in white in this space also avoided her. It seems that he is very afraid of the pure aura released from this soul-suppressing jade tablet. However, Xiao Yan didn't look at the mysterious runes around the soul-requieming jade monument, which were just some illusory things after all, but looked at his left hand. Because under the perception of Xiao Yan's huge soul power, after the jade tablet released sky-high light and transformed into many mysterious runes, it also dimmed, and then a stream of light also flew towards Xiao Yan's left hand. That stream of light just strung into Xiao Yan's palm. Xiao Yan also trembled as if he had been electrocuted. Moreover, in Xiao Yan's body, with the stream of light strung into his hand, Xiao Yan's huge soul power also swelled violently, as if encountering some fatal danger. "Stop it for me." Xiao Yan was also immediately furious. This soul power was related to his own safety, so he had to treat it with dignity. As Xiao Yan tried his best to suppress, the violent soul power gradually subsided. It's just that in a place called Nanjing in the deepest part of Xiao Yan's body, a tiny flame seed also has an extremely terrifying power that is slowly awakening, but after Xiao Yang suppressed the violent soul power it is also fleetingly quiet. Who? Xiao Yang was also shocked, obviously stunned by the sudden scene of this soul-suppressing jade tablet. If he hadn't had the power of both soul power and spiritual power, then he would not be able to cope with this violent soul power. Method. Obviously the change just now was caused by that stream of light, but it's all right now. After Xiao Yang wiped off a little sweat, Xiao Yang also came back to his senses. Then he looked at the jade tablet in front of him. At this time, the jade tablet seemed to have lost all its power. It was grey and dead. Damn. What's in this soul-suppressing jade tablet? Xiao Yang felt the soul-suppressing jade tablet turn to ashes, and he also understood that the soul-suppressing jade tablet was no different from ordinary stones at this time. But where did the things in it go? The palm of your hand. Xiao Yang also suddenly remembered. Xiao Yang raised his palm, and at this moment, a rather mysterious pattern appeared on the center of Xiao Yang's originally white left hand. What is this? Xiao Yang also looked at it curiously. Xiao Yang held a rather mysterious rune in his hand. The pattern was exactly an inch-long jade rune, but the two ancient words Soul Eater were clearly displayed on it. At the moment when this rune appeared, Xiao Yang also vaguely discovered that the ghost energy in the entire space was also dispersed invariably. Obviously, he was very afraid of the rune in Xiao Yang's palm. The jade talisman in Xiao Yang's palm shone with emerald green light, just like it was engraved on Xiao Yang's palm, very vivid. This is Soul Eater Talisman. Above Xiao Yang's head, there was also the shocking sound of his master, the Golden Dragon King. After the Golden Dragon King finished speaking, he also stepped down from the Nine-Soul Monument and came to Xiao Yang, and then stared at the mysterious green rune in Xiao Yang's palm. "Master, this is?" Xiao Yang also questioned. But the only thing I could feel was that this emerald green rune, which was deeply imprinted on Xiao Yang's palm, exuded an extremely terrifying aura. The aura is eerie, and it seems to have the exact same nature as a ghost. This made Xiao Yang the most surprised. Xiao Yang knows the terrifying level of this ghost chi. But if he is careless, don't panic, this rune is a good thing. The Golden Dragon King also said with a smile looking at the rune in Xiao Yang's palm. This rune in your hand, if I guess correctly, should be the ghost soldier in the ghost world, the Soul Eater Talisman. The deep voice of the Golden Dragon King also echoed in this space. Yes, this thing is the Soul Eater Talisman. There was also the voice of the Nine-Soul Monument in the space. I didn't expect to meet it here. It seems that you have a good relationship with it, Xiao Yanzi. The Golden Dragon King said with emotion. Since this is the choice of the soul-suppressing jade tablet, then I won't interfere. Juhun Tablet shook its head and said. The rest is up to you, I have to deal with the twin ghost emperors. After the Nine Souls Monument finished speaking, it also ignored Xiao Yang, and then looked at the woman in white who was constantly surrounded by ghosts in midair. Yeah. The Golden Dragon King said, and then slowly descended to Xiao Yang's side. Evil soldier? Soul Eater Talisman? Xiao Yang also shrank his pupils tightly, obviously puzzled by these unfamiliar words. Hehe, don't worry, since this Soul Eater Talisman has been subdued by you, then I will tell you slowly. The Golden Dragon King said slowly. The ghosts in the ghost world basically have ghosts, and the attributes of ghosts are gloomy and weird, so we call the magic weapons in the ghost world evil soldiers. There are a total of 12 evil soldiers in the ghost world, each of which contains the power of terrifying ghost energy. Even in our human world, these 12 evil soldiers are well known. And the rune in your hand is the soul-devouring rune that is famous in the ghost world. Jin Long said without any rush. When Xiao Yang heard this, he also thought deeply. Obviously, the power of the 12 evil soldiers in this ghost world is definitely not trivial. However, at this time, Xiao Yang was not excited, and some were deeply concerned, because of the terrifying power contained in this rune in his hand. It was exactly the same as a ghost. If I use it for a long time, will my mind be contaminated by this evil soldier? You can rest assured. Although this Soul Eater Talisman is an evil soldier in the ghost world, it contains extremely terrifying ghost energy, but it will not affect you in the slightest. The Golden Dragon King belongs to Xiao Yang after all. Shizu, Xiao Yang's worries were all in sight, so he said. Huh. Hearing this, Xiao Yang was also surprised, because Xiao Yang clearly felt the terrifying ghost in his hand, and with his current self, he could handle it. Because you have soul power and spiritual power. What's more important is that the strange fire on your body also has a very strong restraint on this ghost. Although you didn't realize it, when this Soul Eater Talisman entered your palm, it was madly pouring into your body, trying to devour you. But it was madly resisted by the strange fire in your body. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. Hearing this, Xiao Yang was also suddenly stunned. Could it be that when the stream of light above the soul-suppressing jade monument attacked him, the power of the soul in his body vibrated violently? That was the reason. Although this Soul Eater Talisman ranks only 10th in the ghost world, its power is no trivial matter, because it can devour all souls. In other words, this Soul Eater Talisman is the biggest nemesis of all soul bodies. The Golden Dragon King laughed. The biggest nemesis of the soul body? Xiao Yang was also surprised. Because as we all know, the strong Do Di can absorb the spiritual energy between heaven and earth to supplement themselves. During battle, even if the body is destroyed, they can rely on the advantages of Do Di strong, and the soul can be based on the land of immortality. That is to have the opportunity to condense the body again and be reborn again. When Xiao Yang fought against the Soul Heaven Emperor on the Dochi continent before, even if he displayed great means, he still did not kill the Soul Heaven Emperor, which was enough to show the tyranny of the Do Emperor. Because of the battle between the Do Di powerhouses, unless it is unilaterally suppressed, even with a powerful attack, it is impossible for the Do Di powerhouses to instantly destroy their physical and spiritual body. At most, it was seriously injured and fell. But at the level of Do Di, even if the soul power is too weak, only the body will fall, and if the soul power is no special means, it will still not be killed. Xiao Yang also knew this from his previous battles with Wu Huan, so it is quite difficult to deal with the strong Do Di because even with an attack as strong as Xiao Yang, the only way to deal with Wu Huan is to seriously injure him, and then being escaped by Wu Huan's soul body. But this is undoubtedly a return to the mountain. Xiao Yang believes that he will meet Wu Huan sooner or later. However, even if he encountered it, Xiao Yang was not afraid. He was able to kill Wu Huan before. If he encounters him in the future, then with the Soul Eater Talisman in his palm, Wu Huan should be scattered. So after hearing that my master, the Golden Dragon King, said that the Soul Eater Talisman in his hand is the biggest nemesis of the soul body, he is also overjoyed. Because the current Xiao Yang's strength has just been promoted, it is impossible to increase his strength in a short period of time. If he has combat power, he has many means of annihilation lotus, different fire eternal ancient ruler, and leapfrog battle is not a bad idea. When it comes to fighting, Xiao Yang's style has always been vigorous and resolute. As long as it is determined that it is an enemy, he will be killed with the power of thunder. End to death. Because Xiao Yang also knew very well that the real battle was a life and death struggle. If there is no winner or one person is killed, then what is waiting for Xiao Yang is the endless pursuit. Although Xiao Yang was not afraid, it was quite troublesome. After all Xiao Yang provoked were powerful people. Yes, this Soul Eater Talisman is the biggest nemesis of the soul body. The Golden Dragon King also saw Xiao Yang's brief surprise, followed by an uncontrollable joy. Because this Soul Eater Talisman is what Xiao Yang needs now. Xiao Yang has absolute confidence in his own strength. His strength is enough to kill many powerhouses of the same level. When combined with the magical effect of this soul-devouring talisman, the advantages of the Do Di powerhouses will also disappear. Hey, Xiao Yanzi, don't you know that this Soul Eater Talisman was originally controlled by one of the 4 supreme powerhouses in the ghost world, and it can kill the immortal warriors in a flash. The Golden Dragon King also said, "Is it possible to kill those Yan powerhouses in a turn?" Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly at this time. Xiao Yang can also imagine the power of the fighting immortal powerhouse with his toes. Although the strength of the 4 supreme powerhouses in this ghost world is definitely not weak, the power of this soul-devouring talisman cannot be ruled out. Soul Eater. Not only the evil soldiers in the ghost world, but also the widely circulated magic in the world. It is because this is the nemesis of the soul body. People who have Soul Eater talisman, to a certain extent, have the power of instant kill. This is a real kill. Even the power of the soul is an absolute instant kill that directly annihilates. This soul-devouring talisman is also the most mysterious evil soldier in the ghost world. I didn't expect it to be left in this soul-suppressing jade tablet. It is also a kind of fate to come to you. Otherwise, this soul-eater talisman would not attack you so actively, and some special means would inevitably be used at that time. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. It seems that this soul-eater talisman is really a good thing. Xiao Yang also stared at the emerald green rune in his palm and laughed. Although this is true, your current strength is too weak. According to your soul power, you can devour the soul body of a 6-star duty powerhouse at most. If you are stronger, it will easily cause backlash against you. The Golden Dragon King is also. He looked at Xiao Yang and said, "Enough." Xiao Yang's dark brown pupils suddenly returned to a rare color. "Receive. Now." Xiao Yang also murmured, only to see the emerald green soul-devouring talisman in his palm retracted and reappeared under Xiao Yang's control. Xiao Yang was also quite satisfied with this. Then Xiao Yang clenched his fist tightly, and then murmured, "Soul-devouring talisman. When I meet someone like that Wu Huan this time, it shouldn't be a problem to kill them in seconds." Xiao Yang also laughed at this time. From the moment he entered this soul-suppressing well, Xiao Yang knew that this trip would not be too smooth, but until this time, Xiao Yang had not encountered too many strange things, at most the seal blocking the door. This obviously does not conform to common sense. Xiao Yang, who has always been careful, also put away the emerald green soul eater talisman in his palm, and then slowly stared around. Xiao Yang saw that the terrifying ghostly aura of the woman in white in the air seemed to have completely swallowed her up, only revealing a pair of bright eyes. It seems that the twin ghost emperors are going to succeed. Xiao Yang also muttered. "Senior 9 Soul Monument, do you need any help?" Xiao Yang also said in the middle of the red light opposite the woman in white. According to Xiao Yang's perception, the Senior 9 Soul Monument was in the red light. In the middle, a breath is also rising. You really have a heart. But I don't need it yet. I also contacted the Yinyu Sirius in the infernal corpse forest. What you can do is to improve your strength as soon as possible and protect the Soul Eater talisman in your hand. Don't let it fall into the hands of others, especially the people from the ghost world. A rather soft voice sounded in the red light. "Yeah." Xiao Yang responded softly, and then looked at the 2 terrifying auras in this space, and also had the intention of retreating. "Master, let's go." Xiao Yang also shouted loudly, although there are some medicinal materials and jewelry in this space, but at this time Xiao Yang is too busy to be jealous of these things. The strength of these twin ghost emperors is even Xiao Yang's can't feel a specific measure. "You seem to have something familiar inside you. Leave what's in your body." The terrifying ghostly energy on the woman in white condensed a grimacing face, and then said to Xiao Yang. Afterwards, some extremely thick black gas auras on the face of the terrifying ghost also attacked Xiao Yang. "Yueru, Mu Feng, run." When Xiao Yang was attacked by the black energy above the terrifying grimace, a wave of terror came from his heart. Then, without looking back, look beyond the space and ignore it. The speed has been increased to the extreme. "Hehe, Inxia, you must not take me too seriously." In the red light, there was the sound of the 9 Souls Monument, and then a red light also met the black chasing Xiao Yang. Qi, as soon as the 2 came into contact, disappeared instantly. Outside the door of the seal, Yu and Mu Feng, who had closed their eyes and rested their minds, listened to Xiao Yang's big drink, but they didn't have time to think. As soon as the 2 of them left, they saw that the sealed door that was blocking them in front of them shattered instantly, and 2 completely different forces permeated the sealed door. Then, I saw a milky white flame figure quickly leaving from inside. Rather than leaving, it is better to say escape. Damn it, aren't these twin ghost emperors only half? The strength is so terrifying. Xiao Yang also said in a deep voice while flying. It was obvious that the ghost chi on the woman in white just now was only a little bit less than the last point before it was fully integrated, but the power of the black chi attacking him on the ghost face was very terrifying. According to Xiao Yang's guess, even a 5-star Do Emperor powerhouse would know that power. When he was seriously injured and fell, he immediately threw a touch of gratitude towards the Nine Souls Monument. If it hadn't been for the Nine Soul Monument shot at a critical moment, then although I couldn't say that I fell on the spot, I would definitely be injured. After all, there are still 4 days left before the points grabbing competition. What the is in there? How can this aura be so terrifying? Mu Feng also discovered the terrifying aura behind Xiao Yang, but he didn't have time to think about it, so he had to go out and talk about it. Xiao Yang finally, Yueru and Mu Feng were in front, and the three quickly fled. Come on. Tianhua Shenghu also felt that a terrifying fluctuation in the deepest part of the soul-suppressing well was slowly waking up, and immediately shouted to Mu Yingying. Then, regardless of the 3721, picking up Mu Yingying was a 100-meter sprint, and went out of the soul-suppressing well. Mu Yingying's slightly unhappy beautiful eyes also disappeared cleanly when she felt the breath in the depths of the soul requiem well. Is that the powerhouse in the ghost world? Mu Yingying said slightly. However, Mu Yingying also understood the situation at the time, and her speed was increasing. The azure flame was constantly attached to her body, and she was on the back of the heavenly fire sacred tiger, heading for the exit. At this time, the first and second floors of the infernal corpse forest are like no one, and there is no human breath at all. It's just that the first and second floors of the infernal corpse forest are full of ghost. They have different shapes, but without exception, their bodies are covered with extremely terrifying ghost aura. More importantly, their pupils are all staring at the sky of the corpse forest. Above the sky in the corpse forest, there is a bright moon. It's just that this bright moon is different from ordinary ones. The color of this bright moon is gray, a dead gray like death. Under the illumination of the moonlight above the sky, the numerous ghosts in the corpse forest have also grown by leaps and bounds. Ouch! Roar! The infernal corpse forest at this time was already chaotic. The cloudy moon appears, the ghost emperor is born. It seems that the twin ghost emperors have broken through the seal. I don't know what happened to the Nine Soul Monument. Nine Soul Monument, adding the Yinyu Tianlang, the twin ghost emperors are not without a chance. Chang Yu, a man in red robe, also said. Damn it. A step late. Wu Jiang also raised his head to look at the moon above the sky, and also understood. What to do next? Hudu also said solemnly. What else can I do? You can only wait. Shun Yu also said. Although Shun Yu was a bit harsh, his nature was not bad after all. Wu Jiang also brought him in, leaving only a few people to guard the periphery. How did this place become like this? The ghost is getting more and more serious. Even the grudge in our body is slowly eroding. This ghost. A thin humane beside Qiu Huanyao said. Sky. Another attendant also exclaimed. This is. Wen Yang Qiu Huaniao also raised her head to look at the sky. Overcast moon. Damn, this kind of rare thing will be encountered by us. From now on, don't other people's points, and find the contestants to get together. Also, save your vindictive energy. Qiu Huanyao finished speaking, and walked towards the direction of the soul-suppressing well. This. Luo Guang was also surprised. It is said that in the corpse forest, every 1,000 years, there will be a scene called the Yin Moon. When the corpse comes, the power of the ghosts in the whole corpse forest will be improved to varying degrees, and vice versa. To suppress our vindictiveness. It's troublesome now, said a woman next to Luo Guang, and then she bit her lips. Luo Guang also understood the seriousness of the matter at this time, and then took out the participation token in his hand. At this time, he didn't care about the ranking of the points-grabbing competition. Why is it useless? Luo Guang questioned. Obviously, when he participated in the competition, he said that if something happened in the corpse forest, as long as the token was crushed, it could be sent out. It's useless. Now the entire Yin corpse forest is shrouded in a cloudy moon, you can only enter but not exit. And I can feel that the disappearance of the people we participated in this point looting competition should have something to do with the ghosts in the corpse forest. Maybe they arrested us as sacrifices. The woman also said. What should I do now? Luo Guang said helplessly. Although he has a strong defense, his brain is not very bright. I feel the breath of Wu Jiang and the others. They should be here to solve this problem. Let's go. The woman walked up after she said that. Damn it. It's actually a cloudy moon. A woman with an enchanting figure also said viciously, and then there were many small snakes constantly going back and forth on her body. Ona. The breath of the twin ghost emperors is so powerful. The silver-blue Thunder Wolf King was also afraid after all. He is only a 5th rank beast of the Emperor rank, only comparable to the human 5-star fighting Emperor. Strong. I'm going down. What should come is still coming. Xiao Yan also said with a solemn expression. But this Xiao Yang is really beyond my surprise. Not only did he conquer the dragon soul in the secret realm, but he also got the treasure in this soul-suppressing jade tablet. I'm jealous of that thing. It's just that the 9-soul monument is too stingy. Xiao Yan also laughed, and then fell directly into the soul-suppressing well. Hongye, let's go. Looking at this battle, Yin Evil should have come out. Let's go meet him. This time, I will let you all come back. Yu Quan also said viciously, but at this time, Yochuan's strength has changed drastically. Hongye also didn't speak, and followed Yu Quan down the ghost town. Sir Inxie, you can't be in trouble. Xie Yin has been swallowed up by this secluded spring. Sir, can you? Zhengue Jinko, the ghost spirit also said slowly, and then threw himself down. As these people entered one after another, the ghost town at this time was going to be quite lively. At this time in the Yin Corpse forest, the wind was whistling, the surroundings were dark, and the black gas was constantly fluttering around slowly, like countless dead souls crying, looking eerie and eerie. If there is no overcast moon shining, then there is no difference between black and white in the corpse forest at this time. The whole corpse forest looks gloomy, dark, and cold. Xiao Yang and Yueru also escaped from the ghost town and came to a hill on the 3rd floor. Xiao Yang glanced at the two of them and said solemnly, "This is the infernal corpse forest, and today is a rare dark moon in thousands of years. This infernal corpse forest is different from our world. Such a place may be beneficial to a ghost, otherwise how can it be called a ghost realm? So be careful." Xiao Yang, what exactly is in there? Mu Feng also asked curiously. I don't know what's in there. I only know that there is a very terrifying figure inside, surrounded by ghosts. The strength is extremely terrifying. I am afraid that it is even worse than Wu Jiang's uncle. Xiao Yang also said. There may be a terrifying ghost sealed in there. The ghosts that can be sealed by this ghost town are at least at the level of ghost emperors. Seeing that Xiao Yang didn't know, Mu Feng didn't take it seriously. After all, very few people knew about ghosts and ghosts. Yueru also bit her lips slightly. Apparently she had just escaped from the ghost town and saw the cloudy moon in the sky. The inheritor of Yueru has light with the moonlight, so under the illumination of the moonlight, the blessing to Yueru is also huge. Hey, did you succeed? Xiao Yang was also staring at the ghost town well. At this time, at the entrance of the town ghost well, extremely thick ghost energy continued to emerge. Obviously something terrifying was about to be born. At this moment, a mass of black blood mist instantly filled the sky above the ghost town. With the entrance of the ghost town as the center, it exuded a terrifying and eerie atmosphere, which was very terrifying. What is that? Mu Feng was also like a curious baby. Just after the words were finished, he started the exercise to explore the black blood mist. Mu Feng, stop it. Xiao Yang didn't notice Mu Feng's movements at first, but when he turned around, he saw Mu Feng's movements and couldn't help but hurriedly speak. According to Xiao Yang's guess, that black blood mist should be the twin ghost emperor's Inxie. Although Xiao Yang does not know the specific strength of Inxie, according to his master Jinlongwang, the 9-soul monument is already a 7-star fight. Emperor powerhouses, ghost emperors who can be suppressed by 7-star fighting emperor powerhouses, their strength will only be more terrifying. With an exclamation, Mu Feng's whole body was shaken out of the zhong without any precautions, and he stepped back several steps before he stabilized his body. Mu Feng's pale face, with a look of horror in his eyes, exclaimed, "Everyone, be careful. This is the Ghost Emperor." At this time, the entire dark ghost town wellhead has completely changed, and the dark stone layer on the surface has all turned into dust, revealing the dark and dazzling body inside. I saw that the Ghost Emperor in Mu Feng's mouth looked like a man, and his entire body was the same size as an ordinary person, but there were some different colors in the man's eyes, which were quite inconsistent with the black aura on his body. A very terrifying breath came out. Immediately afterwards, a burst of harsh shouting sounded all around, only to hear the Ghost Emperor suddenly laugh. It has been thousands of years, and today, with the help of the power of the Yin Moon, the ban has finally been broken. Haha, no one can control it from now on. Stay with me. Waiting, Guizian, I will go back sooner or later and take care of you. Haha, I want the entire ghost world to submit to my feet and be ruled by me. The terrifying voice of the twin ghost emperors also spread to the 3rd floor of the entire corpse forest. Why did the twin ghost emperors become male again? Didn't they use women as the carrier before? Xiao Yang was also quite puzzled. At this time, in the third floor of the infernal corpse forest, countless people were terrified. Because just from this breath, you know the horror of this black blood mist. Even a powerhouse as strong as Mu Yingying, the peak of the 4-star Do Emperor, has no plans at all. Hehe, Yin Xie, you are really healed, you forget the pain. An old man also slowly appeared in the sky. The old man had a kind face and a smile that complemented his slightly short stature. But for such a middle-aged old man, the aura emanating from his thin body is extremely terrifying. 9-soul monument, you are really haunted. Yin Xie also showed his face, but he wore a mask on his face to cover his true appearance. Ha ha ha, I was originally protecting you, to prevent you from breaking through the seal. The 9-soul Steely also smiled slightly. Since you are so stubborn, the seal and suppression for thousands of years should be retrieved from you first. I'll let the whole Xian Santian pay for the rest. Yin Xie also laughed strangely. Haha, then let's see if you have the ability. The 9-soul monument also snorted coldly, the original smile also instantly stalemate, and the terrifying red Do Chi instantly covered the whole body. 7-star Do Di? You old ghost actually broke through the 7-star Do Emperor? Yin Xie, who was a little proud, also stopped smiling. Over the years, we have to make some breakthroughs, so as not to be laughed at by future generations. The 9-soul Steely also snorted slightly. 7-star Do Di. But that's not enough. Yin Xie also snorted coldly, and then a black blood mist emanated from his body. Although the 9-soul monument has broken through the 7-star Do Emperor, Yin Xie is not afraid. After all, his strength is comparable to that of him. The powerhouse of the 7 stars fighting Emperor of Humanity, and it is still a cloudy moon, he has an absolute increase in himself. How can this kind of battle be without me? A hearty laughter also appeared in the sky. Silver Moon Sirius. This is about me and the 9-soul monument. If you intervene, I will let you escape. Yin Xie also snorted coldly. Haha, I've heard about the sinister name of the twin ghost emperors, and when I saw it today, it really lives up to its reputation. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, her aura also soared. Another 7-star fighting emperor. Are you sure about it now? The 9 Souls monument also said coldly. It's barely okay, but if you want to punish me, it's obviously a little worse. Yin Xie deserves to have a fierce reputation, and even in this situation, there is no fear. Go. It has just broken the seal and its strength has not recovered yet, don't waste time with it. Juhun Tablet snorted coldly and said to Xiao Yan next to him. Yeah. Xiao Yan agreed, and prepared to attack this evil spirit with the 9-soul monument. At this time, on the 3rd floor of the Yin Corpse Forest, Xiao Yang, Mu Yingying, Qiu Huanyao, plus the snake-controlling woman and Luo Guang's Wu Jiang's team, all had eyes staring at the sky. 2 7-star fighting emperors fight against twin ghost emperors. A war is about to break out. The battle in the sky is imminent. The Juhun monument exudes red flame energy, and Xiao Yan exudes a silver energy. Yin Xie also seemed to have noticed that the two were attacking him with a very turbulent aura, his pupils shrank tightly, and the ghost energy all over his body also spun at a high speed. It's not advisable to stay here for a long time. Let's get rid of them first, and wait until the evil Yin is integrated. Yin Evil also has a plan, and then does not plan to fight hard. After all, he has just broken through the seal, just assimilated the woman, and his strength has not yet returned to its peak, so it is quite difficult to deal with 2 7-star fighting emperor. Ghost Painter. Yin Xie shouted loudly, and did not wait for the two to shoot first, but made the first shot by himself. As the evil spirits shouted down, the strange black energy in the entire sky suddenly condensed into a huge palm, whistling away towards Xiao Yan. In the huge black palm, there is an amazing power, which makes the lips of everyone under the sky dry slightly. Inxie is also clear, although the 9 Souls Monument and Xiao Yan are both 7-star fighting emperors, there is no doubt that the 9 Souls Monument is more powerful, so it is also the first to attack Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan didn't expect this evil to be so decisive. Seeing this terrifying giant hand attacking her, she didn't panic. The handprint was slightly knotted, and the space around her was squirming. The next moment, Xiao Yan suddenly disappeared, and the terrifying giant hand also fluttered into the air. The next moment, another space in the sky wiggled slightly, and Xiao Yu also appeared. The strength of this evil is even stronger. Although he had just avoided the attack of the evil with ease, Xiao Yan also knew that if it wasn't for her own special means of traveling through space, it would be quite difficult to deal with it, because the power contained in the black gas giant hand is very terrifying and strain. Pick me up. Juhun Steely was not idle either. When Inxie attacked Xiao Yan, The figure moved and came to Inxia in an instant, and then a palm with terrifying power also attacked with a bang. On the evil body. Boom boom boom. The terrifying fluctuations spread out in an instant, leading to circles of terrifying ripples, but although the attack of the Nine-Soul Monument was powerful, the attack obviously fell on the ghost blood mist of the evil spirits, and did not cause too much damage to the evil spirits. Big damage. Yin Xie also looked a little bad after using the ghost energy in his body to take the blow of the Nine Souls Monument. Obviously, the blow of the Nine Souls Monument was not so easily resolved, and there were still some small forces that passed through him. The ghost chi and blood mist attacked the evil body. Old ghost, you are courting death. Yin Xie was obviously a little angry, but he didn't expect the attack of the Nine Soul Monument to be so powerful. Go. Yin Xie was angry, and then an extremely dark chain also spread out from the black blood mist, whistling away at Xiao Yan. Chung chung. When the terrifying chains attacked her, a sword appeared out of thin air in Xiao Yan's hand, then her eyes closed slightly, and then suddenly opened again. Suddenly the purple sword in her hand burst out with a monstrous breath, and in one fell swoop the evil chains of terror are blocked. Be careful, the strength of this evil spirit should not be underestimated. The Nine Soul Monument also said. Then Xiao Yan also looked at the Nine Souls Monument. The Nine Souls Monument seemed to understand Xiao Yan's thoughts and nodded knowingly. This sinister method. How is it so similar to the Soul Clan on Dochi continent? At this time, Xiao Yan was also surprised. I have fought countless times with the Soul Clan on the Dochi continent, and I am quite familiar with the methods of the Soul Clan, so I will definitely not go wrong. Damn it. There must be some connection between the ghosts in this ghost world and the Soul Clan. Xiao Yan also shrank his pupils tightly, and then stared at the battle in the sky. Inxia, I know your strength is good, but if that's the case, you can't escape the seal. The Nine Soul Steely also snorted coldly. Humph. Then try it. Yin Xie also snorted coldly, and his momentum did not weaken at all. The black blood mist around his body became more intense, and an extremely dark chain constantly wandered around him. You are bloodthirsty, and you have already fallen into a place of doom. You can't escape today. The Nine Souls Monument continued. Hey, you old man is really talking nonsense. After Yin Xie finished speaking, his pupils shrank tightly, and the pitch-black chains around him attacked the Nine Soul Monument. The dark chains carry extremely terrifying power, which contains the power of erosion. Juhunji and Xiao Yan both understand that once they are locked by these chains, the end will be extremely miserable. The strength of this evil is more than that. He seems to be waiting for something. Chang Yu also said thoughtfully, but looking at the two 7-star Do Emperor powerhouses in the sky, Chang Yu did not intend to take action. After all, the two also deal with this evil. Sufficient. Moreover, Chang Yu also knew that this time things were definitely not that simple. The evil yin and the two ghosts in the Red Mountain Cold Pond had not yet appeared, so they had to be careful to hide them. Come on. Mueller also discovered the battle in the sky, and immediately summoned the ghosts around him and the people from Red Valley to move forward here. Mueller knew that the strength of the twin ghost emperors was more terrifying than the evil yin of Hankai, so he also wanted to help the twin ghost emperors, first to show goodwill to the twin ghost emperors, and secondly to use the twin ghost emperors. The power to get rid of Xiao Yang, kill two birds with one stone. I don't know Xie Yin, where did Yuquan and the others go? Mueller was also puzzled. Apparently they hadn't seen them since they entered the ghost town where the twin ghost emperors were sealed. A ghostly ghost. Mueller was also on the move, and suddenly saw an illusory figure swerving away, and when he looked closely, it was a ghostly ghost. This shocked Mueller. Although Mueller is narrow-minded, he dare not offend this ghostly ghost, because whether it is the ghost or the ghost, they are the big reds around the twin ghost emperors. Mueller doesn't have the guts. Moreover, the strength of the ghosts of the secluded spring and the ghost spirits is also very strong. I'm fine, let's go meet up with Lord Inxia first. The ghostly ghost coughed a few times. Obviously, the heavy hand under Yuquan did not completely heal the wounds of the ghostly ghost. Let's go. After he finished speaking, he also said humanely to the back. The ghosts in the back also calmed down when they saw the ghosts and ghosts coming back. They should be very dissatisfied with Mueller's finger-pointing. How could a human in the early stage of the 4-star Do Emperor be so weak to point fingers at them? Although this human being has some indescribable relationship with some strong people in the ghost world, it does not mean that the ghost will be convinced. It's just that the eyes of some of the strong men in Honggu are constantly communicating, as if they have some plans. However, on the frontal battlefield, just when the evil launched an attack to attack the Nine Soul Monument, An extremely terrifying force suddenly emerged from Xiao Yu, who had been staying in mid-air, and then an extremely loud voice echoed throughout the entire infernal corpse forest. Blood Moon kill, break the army. This video will end here.